My goodness, this is harder than I was expecting. If you've heard about Market Cypher and something which is supposed to be better than Market Cypher called Market Liberator, basically what I'm doing right now is just trying to backtest and see if we can beat the market. If we had bought Bitcoin, say $10,000 worth of Bitcoin at this point last year, and at this point last year we'd have been looking at $9,170 for a Bitcoin. Right now that's actually about 31,000, which would mean that we'd have bought just over one Bitcoin, and at today's price we're looking at 34 grand is what we would have if we had just bought that Bitcoin and held on to it. So obviously that's going to be 248% gains there. And what we want to do in this video is to find out whether we can use Market Liberator or something similar to that to make more than those gains. So we want to beat the market, beat more than 248%. This is where I've got to so far. So when I first got into Market Liberator, I was looking at this, all a bit of a mess. As you can see, there's all kinds of stuff on there, and what I'm trying to do is find out which of those signals, which of those lines we can use to actually place trades off and make some money. Basically what I did is took out a bunch of the ones which didn't really seem to be all that great. So just go into settings there, we took off some of this just to take away some of the noise going on there on the chart. We also took away the VWAP, you can see there. This one we want, so we wanted the dots just so that we can see where it's suggesting to buy and sell. The trend meter as well at the bottom, we'll definitely have a look at that because that one was quite interesting. We like the histogram, keep that, get rid of the MFI and the MFI line because that doesn't really do all that much. Same with the RSI. Yellow and purple squares, keep them or not, I'm not too bothered. But first up, when we're looking at it, it does look fairly good. So you can see here, you're selling the red where it's nice and high, and then you're buying it back when it's all the way down there, nice and green, and then you're buying it again on another green without actually making a sell. Oh no, there it is, there's the sell right there, selling it off. It looks great, but when you look at it on the actual charts and where the prices are that you're buying and selling, you realize it's not all really that good. So if we go up here and you can see this one here, this is the green, so this lines up on the green, and you're going to be buying at the end of the candle. So when that candle's closed, i.e. all the way up here, this is where you're buying. Now you don't need to be a rocket scientist to work out that that is actually the top of the market just before it comes back down again, okay? So you've basically bought in here, it then tells you to sell on this signal here, which again, you're selling off, making the trade at the end of the close on that candle. So you're selling off down here, you're buying up here, you sell off down there. And then here we go again, so you're buying in here at, what's that, 97.44, and then you'd be selling it all the way down there at 92. So you've lost like $500 on that one. So when you have a look at that, it doesn't look particularly good. So what I did think was good is that little trend line down underneath, the green and red dots running along the bottom, because these dots, these crossovers, I don't particularly like. Looks like some sort of weird MACD thing going on there, but it's not really working for me. So I go for these little trend lines where you're buying in here on the green, and then you're just holding it all the way until you get to a red. And at that point there, that's where you would sell. So that looks like you should have made a nice little run there, and then you're selling it off, buying back in, pretty much the same here. You're buying here fairly high, and then you'd be selling it off when you get to the red there, all the way down there. So maybe you can take a few little losses here and there. You're going to buy this one, but just looking at the chart isn't really enough. We really need to automate the back testing for the entire year, because I'm not going to jot through with a piece of paper all of those buys and sells and try and work it out in my head. We just need some nice clean code that we can just do all of that straight away. Right, so what we're doing here is we're going to use a weighted moving average. Now I don't know what code it is that this guy's using that created Market Liberator, but from what I can tell, if you have a look at these little yellow dots down here, you can see that as they're going up tends to be where those green dots are down the bottom, and as that weighted moving average starts to creep back down again, you can see then we've got some red dots all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, until we get to another green dot. This is where again those little yellow crosses do start to move up. In fact, if we can just make those a little bit bigger, you may be able to see them a bit better. There we go. So you can see that they've come down in line with the red dots at the bottom and then start going up with the green. So if this is a strategy that you wanted to do, rather than purchasing Market Liberator for whatever it is, I think they just take donations. I gave like $50 or something. But if you just wanted this, then you can do it with just the weighted moving average on TradingView. It's very easy. Does it beat the markets? Well, if we come down here, we can look where we've been buying and selling based on those. And we can see that over the year, I believe this is the year, let's just check. There we go, there's our $10,000, and from the 6th June 22, that is it, and that is all we're making. So all we're making here is 42%, which is great. We're making a gain, that's fantastic, but it is only 42%, because if we had just stuck with the original, just buying some coins and just holding it for an entire year, we'd have made 248%. So basically, we've lost 200% just following that strategy. So it made money, but not as much as if you had just invested. So moving along to the next idea, I stole something from a guy called a Lazy Bear, which was similar to this sort of MACD thing that they've got there. And I had to sort of wiggle the code a little bit to try and make it work, but all I wanted really is just then crossovers happening somewhere in and around the same place. So you can see here, this crossover here, which would be the red dot, that happens pretty much where it should be, and then that dark blue line crosses under the white in and around the same area as the green one, coming out again red there and then the green. Now the problem though with this code from Lazy Bear is it uses version 2, and just check this out, okay? And you can see that we have a net profit now of 1,180, which I'm sure you are aware we wanted to beat 248, and now we're coming in there at 1,180. Surely this is it. We've hit the big time now. So the big problem with this one is the fact that it's running version 2. Version 2 is the old version. We're now up on version 4 on TradingView for PineScript. And with this version, we don't get what I've commented out here, which is process orders on close equals true. This is a real issue, and what it means is basically that this figure here is complete and utter cobblers. If you was actually going to trade this in real time, you're probably going to get nowhere near these returns. You can see at the top though that this is somewhere in near and about where it should be. So we've got a close happening right here. So this would be, if this was happening when it should do, it basically would have happened on the close of this candle. Instead of that, it's happening on the open of the following candle. But down here, you can see this is where it closed. And if we can see, here we go, this is Market Liberator, there's the little red dot there. So that one is in about the right place. We're then buying up over here, which is right smack on where you would do here with the green line. And then we're selling here, which is a little bit late, but is around about where it should be. So basically, it does look like it may be pretty good. Now, I may have to recode it into version 4 code. That could take some time. What I'll probably do is just add it to the signals on our site and maybe follow it live, real time, to see if it actually makes any money. And all of this testing here with Market Liberator is all thanks to Martin from the Telegram group. You may be aware from him. I actually contacted him in our elite tactical trading team, which may or may not be a legit Moocharoo Telegram group. I can't say anything about that. But we have Jason K down here. He just recently messaged me and he was telling me all about something which uses Market Liberator and also 2 other strategies for buying and selling as well. So I've just been having a look at that. It's something to do with this guy, Potato Signals, all written and coded by someone called Mr. Potato, he says. So that'll be interesting. So I'm gonna have a check at that. I'm just gonna grab some lunch. you go. Thanks. All right, so just got back and the markets have gone insane. Just take a look at this. So this we're looking at right now, this is Tezos. You can see this is all the way down. I would normally be buying anything when it drops below this green line, and it is just absolutely like the entire market fallen through the floor. So this seems to have happened around the sort of like 1-2 o'clock time in the day. This is normally when America opens up, they all start waking up, and it seems they've woken up in sheer terror today because the markets really have come down low. Now I did have my bot over here on the bot shop following here the MCN master signals. That's our normal signals. We'll take a look at those in just a minute to see how they compare against some of the other stuff that we've been trading. But I have had all of these coins, or the majority of these coins, turned off, so I haven't been trading them over the past few weeks, but I've just turned them all back on because this is absolutely crazy. I mean, where are we now for Bitcoin right now? It's like under 30,000 right now. I didn't know it was going to happen. I wasn't expecting Bitcoin to go under 30,000. I had my buy, I bought some in around 36,000, all the way down to about 31,000. I didn't think it was going to go down this low. Man, I wish I held back some Tether, some USDT to buy that. So it looks like I've missed out on buying that under 30 grand Bitcoin, but there are just so many other deals going on right now. I think BAT is down a fair old bit. I can see SNT, that's down 17% today. Another one here's them, that's down 15. XRP is down 11. Look at that, that's down at 53 cents now. That's up and down all the time. I mean, that's a very, very volatile coin. Really cheap right now. I cannot believe it. It is like bargain time right now. But unfortunately, I got no time for this right now because I've really got to get out again and go run some errands. Now, the reason why I believe that all of this is so important, all the work here that we're doing, trying to find a strategy that we can automate and then trade off and make money, is because just like me, I know that you guys also have very busy lives. You've got things to do as well. Right here, you can see me, I'm emptying a carload of carpets. I need to sort of get a couple of houses ready and get out the country. That's my plan. I know you've got your own stuff to do as well. We do not have time to just sit there looking at charts all day long. And why should you? We ain't got time for that. What we're going to do now is take a look at these charts over here. We're going to be taking a look at the new Market Liberator mixed in with the Wolfpack and Mr. Potato's own signal strategy. It's kind of triple strategy all in one. But first of all, just going to check out these new packages that I've got here because they've just turned up, just arrived. You can hear them signals going off. I don't know what's going on in the market now, but it sounds pretty crazy. So what I've got here is, it looks like Sony lens for the camera. More YouTube-y type stuff going on here. And a wide angle lens. Hopefully nothing else in that box that just fell down. Anyway, that's great. Now let's check out this chart. What we can see is Bitcoin does seem to be on the move again. It seems to be coming back up now. I don't know where it is, but I can see the price. There we go. So wow, Bitcoin all the way down there to 28, and now it's already all the way back up to 32. This is why I had my signals on buy and put them back on, because you know that once it pulls down that far, it's gonna bounce back, it's gonna rebound. So very happy with that. I should have hopefully made some cash on those ones. Anyway, what we're looking at now is this triple strategy. So if we come down here, you can see I've adjusted the strategy a little bit so that we've got those buy-sell signals that you would normally find on this strategy. In fact, I'll put a link for it down below. Maybe that's going to make it easier for you guys to find. But that's going to make you 116% over the year. So I think this should be, there you go. So from 2020, it's basically this day last year, you're going to be making 116%, which is pretty good. In fact, bringing that up again here, so here we've got the signal method. So what we can do here is basically get rid of that and just only use Mr. Potato's own strategy. So if we just use that, it is going to take a while. This strategy is quite massive, does take a while. And in fact, there it is already. So 5%. 5% net profit for Mr. Potato strategy, not particularly great, especially when you think that we should be making 248% right there. So, okay, it's 248% over the year, but Mr. Potato only 5. So what we are wanting to do is take a look at some of those other strategies as well, and this is how you can do it yourself. All you need to do is come here to Pine Editor, click on that, and scroll all the way down. This code is absolutely massive, but you want to scroll all the way down 12,010, and what I've done there is I've just basically commented out the original text, and then I can just delete the ones that I don't want to use. So you can see here his main one is called Potato, and this is what it would normally look like if I can just take that off. So there you go, that's what this line of code would normally look at, and here is mine. So here's Mr. Potato and the Wolfpack and MLM, that is the triple strategy. But what I've done is basically commented out this one and this line and replaced it with just Market Liberator, because I want to find out what the real results for Market Liberator are, because our last one that I tried to hack together myself says that we're going to make 1,000%. Now, I don't believe that. Looking at the charts, looking at where the buys and sells are, I think that's a bit of version 2 baloney. So what we need to do now, once we've made them changes, just hit save. And then what you will find is that over the last year, just the Market Liberator alone would have actually lost you 36%. So 36% down is not cool, especially when just plain old hodling would have made you 248%. So that's kind of more like what I thought it would be. In fact, if you have a look at it now, rather than my hacked together version that didn't quite always line up, this one's pretty good. So right here, you've got the green dot down here on Market Liberator, and that coincides directly with the buy signal on Mr. Potato's own code here. He's done a much better job than I did. Let's just get rid of that, it's in the way. And this sell signal here is right on the red dot. And then we've got a buy signal, which again is right where the buy is up there, and so on. You can see this is the red, that's the green buy, another red sell, another green here with the buy and the red, and so on and so forth. So I went on and tested all the rest of those as well, all the different ones like the Wolfpack versus Market Liberator and all that, just to find out which ones would actually work, which sort of amalgamation of currencies is going to work best. So what I found is Wolfpack plus Market Lib actually only gives you 74%, so that's not quite as good. So if we just try Potato with Market Lib, and that one does 35%, so that's even worse. I think the Wolfpack is probably the better strategy of the two. If we try Market Lib on its own, obviously we know it's down 36%. Potato and Wolfpack, this could be a winner. Yes, it's not bad. 114% there for Potato and Wolfpack, so almost as good as all three together. Wolfpack on its own will actually only get you 48%. So interesting. What we can see from that is that Mr. Potato done a fantastic job, and he's absolutely right. When you do combine all three, you do come up with the best outcome here. However, it is a long way off what you would have had just plain old hodling, 248%. But before you get all sad and depressed and whatnot, there is actually a strategy that we know of which is better. So over on our site, Moocharoo.ninja, we've been tracking a whole bunch of different coins. In fact, you can go right here, trading signals, go down to signals tracker, and our master signals have not performed particularly good lately. You can see over the last 30 days, they're down about 10%. And the reason for this is that we didn't realize when we was in a nice big bull market that our bear attack mode, for the signals, actually it had a bug in it which was stopping a lot of these sell orders coming through. So we were just basically hodling, we were buying cheap and hodling, and the sales never actually came through. Fix that bug now, so now it works a bit better. So we have a look here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to the templates, and I'm going to add on the MCN Master Signals 3.0, and then right down the bottom again. So this is basically MCN signals just as you would expect. There's all the little buy sell signals just as before, but right now we are making here 505%, but I bet you anything that's not quite right because I haven't adjusted date. So let's put that on basically this day last year. So June 22nd, there we go. That looks a bit more like it. So now if you had used the MCN 3.0 signals, you are up 454% on Bitcoin. Much, much, much better, almost double what you'd have got from just plain old HODLing. 454 versus 248. I know which one I would rather. So if you guys know of any other strategies that you'd like me to test, or you just want to find out about, maybe you've been using them or you're thinking of using them, do let me know in the comments down below, because I want to test it. I want to know how we can make these signals even better for our bots. Right here, you can go to the bot shop. It's so easy to change. All you got to do is come here. I'm on master signals, obviously, and you can just pick any strategy that you want. If you pick no strategy, that means that your bot will not receive any signals whatsoever. So if, like, over the last few weeks where the market's been pretty rough, you might have wanted to set that to no strategy, that could have been an option. Just set it to no strategy and just sell off all of your altcoins if you want to. I know there's a lot of people that have done that. And then perhaps on a day like today, when everything is down, as we just saw earlier, you know, you can switch that and put it back on, as I have today, and buy up some of these super cheap altcoins. I mean, just look at that, e-gold all the way down there. Fantastic. So as I say, if you do know of any cool strategies, do let me know, because I will be testing them out. But yeah, that is it for me for now. I'll see you again in the next video.